Good afternoon and welcome to an early Missouri Valley Conference matchup as the 2-7 UNI Panthers play host to the 6-3 Bradley Braves, who are playing their first conference game of the year and their first basketball game since December 22nd. Alongside Matt Schneiderman, I am Brad Wells. Welcome to the McLeod Center in Cedar Falls. And Matt, different stories as the UNI Panthers have had two weekends of this new conference schedule of playing back-to-back days. Bradley, their first go at it, having not played since December 22nd.
Yeah, this is Bradley's first chance at some Valley action and their first chance at one of these newer back-to-back on the roads at a tough UNI Panthers team. So I'm sure they're ready to go, and the Panthers have to come out and match their intensity.
All right, let's take a look at our keys to the game here, brought to you by Ford. Let's begin with Bradley, and it starts with getting over that 19 days off.
Yeah, they have to knock the rust off. They got to come out and they got to play hard, but they can't be too overzealous. You know, they got to be out there being active on defense like they always are. They'll probably be a little winded, play through to that first media. And then from there, their defensive pressure is always kind of their forte. You know, they're holding teams to under 40% inside the perimeter. They try to keep it in the 50s. And so if they can establish that tone with the Panthers, they'll have a pretty good chance at success today.
Third best field goal percentage defense allowed in the country. How about your keys to the game for the UNI Panthers?
They got to establish a tone early. They got to get a piece of the paint, get downhill, start spraying the ball, and knock down some perimeter shots. They got to get everyone involved. And like we said, it's going to be hard to get interior baskets. So if they can get Fife a basket inside early, that would help them out as well. And then they got to limit the turnovers. You know, they've had a lot of turnovers recently. If they can limit those, value the ball, that'll be a good key for them as well.
All right, it's the conference opener for Bradley. The Panthers' last victory came on their home floor here the last time they were in Cedar Falls. We have players to watch coming up next here on the Panther Sports Network as UNI basketball on the Panther Sports Network from Learfield IMG College is sponsored by Casey's.
Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Order for curbside pickup this winter, and we'll bring your delicious Casey's pizza order outside so you can stay inside. Now at Casey's, buy one large pizza, get one half off. Casey's, here for staying inside, here for good.
Get ready for more. Introducing Hy-Vee Plus. Get a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, you can call our Red Line hotline day or night for anything you need. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. Plus, a personal online shopper. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. Sign up today.
Panther Sports Network from Learfield IMG College coverage is provided by Casey's. Try new curbside pickup. Casey's, here for good. And FiberNet TV from Cedar Falls Utilities. Get connected to the power of service.
The Bradley Braves look for their first road victory of the season, while the UNI Panthers look to go back-to-back victories in conference home games this season. Let's take a look at our starting five. Let's begin with the Bradley Braves as the Bud Light starting lineup. There's a Bud Light there when we get started. Rink Mast making his first start as Ari Boya is out this weekend. They have phenomenal guards to Terry Nolan East getting the start, as well as, Terry Nolan and Sean East getting the start. Elijah Childs, as we'll talk about him a little bit more here. Tavanainen in that starting five, but Childs is that go-to guy. Looks bigger, stronger than a year ago, and he was their go-to guy last season when he was healthy.
Yeah, he's a lot bigger and stronger this year. He's getting about 14 and a half and about 8 rebounds a game, 2 block shots a game as well. So he's really good at protecting the rim. Here's a guy that can switch out 1 through 4 and pretty much guard anyone on the floor.
All right, the UNI Panthers starting five has 2 true freshmen in Nate Heise and Bowen Bourne. A pair of seniors in Taiwan Pickford, Trey Burhow, and junior Austin Fife, a preseason first-team All-Missouri Valley Conference honoree. But that senior, Trey Burhow, Matt, he's coming off a triple-double, the first ever in UNI program history.
Yeah, congratulations, Trey, coming off a 10-point, 10 rebound, 10 assist, triple-double at Evansville. He's what makes the Panthers go, and he's to be the one to watch tonight.
All right, tip-off is coming up next. This is UNI basketball on the Panther Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Hi.
Peacock has The Office, a show about a mid-level regional paper company. Also, Flonkerton, grilled feet.
Oh, they rub butter on my foot.
No.
Undies and the Dundies. Chili disasters and happily ever afters.
Are you free for dinner tonight?
Also, Prison Mike.
You got a good life.
That's why you can't not watch The Office. Every episode, extras, and exclusives. Streaming now.
UNI basketball is brought to you by Casey's. Try new curbside pickup. Casey's here for good. And a late change to the starting lineup for the UNI Panthers. You see Gonar Marr right there, the senior out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And James Betts, number 34, a sophomore, starting in place of the two seniors, Taiwan Pickford and Trey Burhow. As some program standards not being upheld by the two seniors. Coach says they're going to play today, just not starting this afternoon's basketball game.
Yeah, it sounded like just some frustration that boiled over at Evansville, and Coach Jacobs just said, hey, we hold everyone accountable here, so they moved two guys into the starting lineup in their place.
Two seniors that Coach Jacobson talked to us earlier in the week about, as far as some guys that are playing well, the upperclassmen, the two seniors, as well as Austin Fife, the junior, playing well. They're doing good, but they can do more, he says.
Yeah, absolutely. Even with Fife's double-doubles in Evansville, Coach Jacobs saying we can still get more out of him, and we need more out of him.
Frank Mass, the traveling violation, starting in place of Ari Boya, who is out with a right foot injury. He is here in Cedar Falls, but not in uniform this afternoon. It's Bradley's conference opener coming here on the 10th of January. Here's Gonar Marr. Turnaround jumper is no good. Fife, an offensive and gets tied up by East inside. As Sean East came down and dug out the basketball after Fife went up and got the rebound.
Great rebound by Fife. It's a tone that the Panthers need to set. You don't get a lot of rebounds against this Bradley team. It gets about 44 a game. So that's a good sign for the Panthers at the beginning.
Out-rebounding their opponents by 10 rebounds per game are the Bradley Braves. A big key for Coach Jacobson. And Coach Wardle talked about it as well. Says UNI rebounds pretty good too. It's one of Bradley's keys to today's game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Wardle said rebounding is one of the things we can control, and we control it every night. They do a pretty good job on it. They're ranked very high nationally.
Terry Nolan Jr. misses the three from the corner. UNI another opportunity to score the first baskets of the game. Bowen Bourne, the true freshman, knocks it in from the wing, and UNI strikes first.
Yeah, great screen, rescreen action there. Bourne got loose. Three for the Panthers. That'll be a key for the game for them.
Tavanainen off a screen, back to Mass. Off the mark, and Fife goes up and muscles down the rebound.
Yeah, Brad, talking to Coach Wardle yesterday, he wants more of that from Rick Mast. He says he's a guy with the ability to step out. It gives him a different look with Boya not in the game. So look for Mast to be shooting a little bit more from the perimeter tonight as well.
Rick Mast, a redshirt freshman, gaining confidence, playing well, and Coach really talked about his strength really improving from a year ago.
Yeah, he said he's Valley ready. He's ready to go. He's about 245, 250, but he does possess that ability to knock down a shot from the perimeter as well.
Heisey gets it off right before the shot clock sounds, and UNI has a 5-0 lead here early on in this first half.
Yeah, Brad, we talked about how the Panthers have to set a tone early, and they've done that. They got a good look from the perimeter, and then Bradley team that is really stifling from the inside the perimeter. So to get a nice, easy one like that from Heisey is a good look for the UNI Panthers.
Ville Tavanainen, the sophomore, on the drive. Heisey got some basketball, but a little body bump as well. Gets whistled for the foul.
Yeah, it's going to be key to control the fouls as well. You can't get them easy points on the line. A team that's kind of been struggling a little bit offensively at times. They go into lows, so can't get them easy ones on the free throw line.
Tavanainen named to the 2020 Missouri Valley Conference all-bench team. Averaged just over 6 points per game. His three-point shooting, though, was 39%. That's third best among all Bradley Brave freshman seasons. And, Matt, he started the year 2 for 22 and then shot 47% the rest of the way.
Yeah, he's had it going recently. You know, they haven't played in a few weeks, so it'll be interesting to see if he can keep that going. But he started the year a little slow, but he's really come on since then.
UNI offensively, a three-pointer from Bourne and a two from Heisey. Here's a three-point try by Nate Heisey.
Yeah, had a great look. If you can continue getting looks like that, they might start falling. That'll be a big key for the Panthers tonight.
East 3 is off the mark. Mast, the putback no good, and Fife secures the rebound.
Got to take care of those second chance opportunities. Got to keep Bradley off the boards. This is a team that we mentioned is ranked very high nationally, not just in defensive rebounds, but offensive rebounds as well. They will send 2-3 guys to the glass every time. You got to locate, check them off the boards, and then go the other way.
Heisey on the drive, gets by Nolan Jr., back to Bourne. Under 10 on the shot clock. Betts fires the 3 and rattles it home.
Yeah, we see Betts be able to step out and knock down that shot, even with a hand in his face. So that's a nice addition for the Panthers in the starting lineup today.
Makes some threes early. His first 3 in conference action falls. And Elijah Childs, our player spotlight in the pregame, gets on the board.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough matchup for Betts today. I know he's up for the challenge, but that's a tough matchup. That's one of the premier players in the Valley right there.
There is a foul. This is going to go against Sean East, fighting through a screen. And it'll be UNI basketball. And Matt, we talked about Ari Boya being out for Bradley as we see Jashawn Henry, the 6'6 junior, check in. Without Ari Boya, you would think they might be pretty small, but Mast at 6'9", he's been playing well. Him and Childs still look like a real tough combo inside, as well as Henry coming off the bench as Mark gets a bucket to go.
Yeah, but one of the things that Coach Worrell talked about is Ari Boya is one of the few players in the Valley that brings what he brings at 7'1", with that long wingspan, his ability to screen, his ability to rebound, his ability to block shots and protect the rim. I don't think they're going to have as much of that with Mast, even though he's a big guy as well. But they do kind of substitute in a perimeter-oriented Mast as well. So we'll just see how they have to respond tonight as they're playing without Boya.
Henry grabbed the second offensive rebound of the game for Bradley early on here. And knocked out of bounds by the Panthers.
Well, we talked about Bradley knocking the rust off, and here, they just got to get going. Can't give them easy ones like that. A team that hasn't played in a couple of weeks, they get easy buckets like that. That's going to get them going, and this is a team that thrives on the energy.
Sean East working against the freshman, Bowen Bourne, and East, the sophomore. His first year with the Bradley program, though. Last year, played at UMass, led the team with nearly 5 assists per game, which was top 60 in the NCAA a season ago, averaged over 9 points per game.
And Coach Worrell talks very highly of him. He's very efficient. He's averaging about 4.5 assists, but only turning it over about 1 or 2 times a game. So he has the ball in his hands a lot. We have actually a nice matchup here between some really good young point guards that are highly efficient, handling the ball and not turning it over.
Substitutions as the 2 seniors, Trey Burhow and Tywan Pickford, into the game for the UNI Panthers, as well as Noah Carter, the sophomore out of Dubuque, Iowa. And for Bradley, Jason Kent, a freshman, onto the floor for the first time this afternoon. A freshman had a big 11-point performance against Missouri in Bradley's last game, and Fife a tip in over the back of Childs for 2.
And right there, we're seeing the absence of Boya right there. That's a rebound that might not happen over the 7-1 Boya, but good job by Fife going to the front of the rim and tipping it in.
There's 2 all-conference performers going one-on-one, and Elijah Childs get the jumper to go over Fife.
Yeah, that's just something that he possesses, that little Sigma jumper, that face-up, that ability. He's so dangerous because he can put the ball on the floor as well. And so it's just a tough matchup for the Panthers tonight.
Pickford gets it into Fife. Fife's going to try and answer. He'll kick it out. Carter left open for 3, off the iron, rebound to Henry.
Yeah, if you're Coach Jacobson, you really want to see that ball go down for Noah Carter. He started off with a 9 3-pointer game against Western Kentucky, first game of the year. Hasn't been able to hit as many since then, so you really want to see that one go down for him.
Terry Nolan hits Bradley's first 3 of the game to tie it at 12.
Terry Nolan, a guy coming off an injury. The COVID layoff kind of helped him get back on the court because he did not play against Missouri in their last game.
14:43 on the clock. Foul on the floor. We'll take a break. Tied at 12. UNI basketball on the Panthers Sports Network from Learfield IMG College is sponsored by Casey's.
Yo, Dad, come play some ball. You're not my dad.
I'm not your dad. Of course I'm your dad's son. If I wasn't your dad, would I be able to do this?
What are you doing?
I'm doing this. Make a swish.
Uh-oh. Jake from State Farm.
Here's the deal. There's no replacing the real Chris Paul.
Not my car.
Just like there's no replacing State Farm.
Come on, man. Stop trying to beat me.
You want the real deal? Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Meet Linda. Linda just bought a smart home hub and was ecstatic to see her grandkids on their weekly chats. However, this grandma spends most of her time troubleshooting across time zones. Fortunately for Linda, technical support is right down the road. With CFU Wi-Fi, our highly trained technician will install a new Wi-Fi system and connect all of her devices. Now, Linda can chat with her family and ask about their week instead of her password. CFU Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi made simple.
Get ready for more. Introducing Hy-Vee Plus. Get a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, you can call our Red Line hotline day or night for anything you need. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. Plus, a personal online shopper. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. Sign up today.
The State Farm MVC Men's Basketball Championship is back in the Gateway City this March. It begins here as 10 Valley teams battle it out to advance to the Big Dance. The 2021 edition of Arch Madness tips off March 4th through 7th at Enterprise Center in downtown St. Louis. Presented by Fox Sports Midwest. Visit unipanthers.com or download the Arch Madness app. Since 1907, the Valley runs deep.
FiberNet TV from Cedar Falls Utilities. Get connected to the power of service. You see some of the fans in attendance here in the McLeod Center. 15% capacity is allowed here at this current state for the UNI Panthers this weekend, as many teams across the country not playing in front of fans, and you see how socially distanced all the different ticket groups are. As we have some students we saw earlier, and see the different parents and fans all stand out. There's a look at UNI head coach Ben Jacobson in his 15th season leading the UNI men's basketball team. NCAA tournaments, 2 wins over number 1 ranked teams on his resume. One of them here in the McLeod Center when UNI beat top ranked North Carolina. Trey Burhow, a deep 3, knocks it in.
Yeah, Burhow got a good look. You have to get close to a guy like that. You may think that you're playing him close and that he's a few feet off the line, but you have to stay closer to him. He's one of the best shooters in the country.
6 different Panthers have scored here early as Rank Mast knocks in that shot, and he becomes the 5th Bradley Brave to score. Back-to-back triples, and this is turned into a shootout, and Matt, everybody's getting involved for both teams.
Yeah, it really is. And there's Rank Mass stepping out and shooting the ball the way Coach Wardle said he wanted him to do. So he must have got the memo on that one.
Jason Kent gets whistled for the foul, a freshman building some confidence, but he's got a tough challenge working against Trey Burhow, the senior.
Yeah, Trey's one of those guys that can kind of do it all. He can do it inside and outside. That's going to be a tough matchup for Jason Kent, a true freshman who has shown some really good offensive abilities, but trying to defend Trey Burhout, he's going to have his hands full tonight.
Evan Gauger and Cole Henry in the game couldn't hook up on that, and that's Carter tipping the pass, and then last touch by Mast. It'll be UNI basketball.
Yeah, Matt did a good job of running the floor. It was just a tip pass and just a little errant pass and went off in Panther basketball. But that's what Bradley wants to do. They want to get out and they want to run the floor. They want to run rim to rim, and that's just kind of part of who they are. So I think Coach Wardle will take an effort mistake like that.
Carter works his way down to that lower block. Now 10 on the shot clock for UNI. Gauger with it, less than 5 to go. He'll fire the 3. Knocks it in. Evan Gauger hits UNI's 4th three-pointer of this first half.
Yeah, Bradley's jumping over the screens and is giving the Panthers a chance to cross back over and get good looks. You know, I mean, they had played great defense for about 28 seconds there and then just got loose for a good lift for Gauger.
Sean East just racing to the rim from one side to the other. His 2nd bucket of the game. He has 5 points.
But as we're going with watching the Panthers, that's where they miss A.J. Green, a guy that can make shots. Now, Gardner made the shot, but a lot of times the ball's in A.J.'s hands, and he's pulling up or creating for other people as well. So it'll be interesting to see if Bradley can keep that kind of defensive pressure on them if those shots are still falling later on in those late shot clock situations.
Burhow is looking for some contact on that shot. Terry Nolan Jr. checks in for the Bradley Braves. Henry and East on the bench.
Yeah,
for Bradley.
Bradley's a deep team. You know, Coach Wardle talked about it. He's like, I can go deep into my bench, and we might have to because we haven't played in a few weeks, so we might see some rotations that we're not used to seeing.
There's Childs inside, and he is a monster down in the paint. Preseason first team All-Missouri Valley Conference pick, leads the team in points, rebounds, and block shots.
And it's his birthday today, you know, and so he's feeling it. He's gotten going early, and that's not a good sign for you and I. You want to try to take him away, but he's so talented, it's hard to take him away.
Henry feeds it inside for Noah Carter. Shot fake, gets the defender up and finishes.
Great high-low action. Cole Henry, one of the better big men passers that the UNI Panthers have. We've seen him make some really good passes throughout the season.
Back and forth we go. Tavanainen fires the three, rebounded by Pick. Henry tries to go by Mass, knocked away from behind by Tavanainen. Pickford comes up with the loose basketball and then stolen away. Here's Nolan.
Yep, got to be aware. And that's the turnovers we're talking about with the Panthers that really kind of plagued them in some of the losses this year.
Childs is calling for it inside. He's got Burhow on him.
You got to go at Burhow there if you're Childs. I know he's drawing a double team, but at the same time, you got a chance to pick up a foul on a senior and get yourself an easy bucket.
Mass able to finish over top of the freshman Cole Henry inside.
And we talk about that give and take. They lost Boya due to injury, but Mass brings a little more offensive mindedness to the Bradley team.
There's two redshirt freshmen playing hard down in the post. Burhow lost it. Carter came up with it and traveled with the basketball.
Yeah, let them play today. Let them play. Classic Valley basketball right there.
Timeout on the floor. We'll be back. A physical back-and-forth basketball game so far. UNI and Bradley. You're watching UNI basketball on the Panthers Sports Network from Learfield, IMG College.
You're more than just a number. That's why Cigna Medicare Advantage plans treat you like a whole person, body and mind. And if you get extra help paying for prescriptions, there's still time to get a plan that fits your budget. Call 1-855-945-0570 to get a Cigna Medicare Advantage plan with no monthly premium, no primary doctor copay, and medical and prescription coverage in one plan. Dental coverage too. Learn more with our free Medicare Advantage guide. If you get extra help paying for prescriptions, you can still get an affordable Cigna Medicare Advantage plan. Don't wait. Call 1-855-945-0570. That's 1-855-945-0570. Or go to choosecignamedicare.com.
The Village of Bedford Park is building. Located near Midway Airport, our sports and event center is scheduled to open in summer 2021. For more information or to book your future event, please visit playmidway.com. The Village of Bedford Park. We're building a better future for our kids and for our community.
When Dr. Price go off the menu, he can't escape the cravings.
You don't consume me, I consume you.
What if you had to choose between fixing the roof over your head and putting food on the table? What if that leak led to mold growing in your home? What if you no longer had a safe place to call home? Help Rebuilding Together make repairs for our neighbors who have lost jobs and have to make those difficult choices. Visit rebuildingtogether.org.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee proudly supports the UNI Panthers. Some Bradley Brave fans in the building. There's not many opportunities for some of these schools that are located in Illinois to see their kids play in person, Matt. As the state of Iowa, there's ability to show or to see games live and in person. Here is Brian Wardle in his 6th season with the Bradley Braves, and the success that Coach Wardle has created includes back-to-back Missouri Valley Conference tournaments the last 2 years down in St. Louis.
Yeah, and he talked about how, like, no one's really talking about us at Bradley, you know, and he's like, that's okay with us. He's like, we'll fly under your radar and then just remind you when you play it of who we are. He's a guy that was a great player at Marquette, prolific scorer back in the Conference USA days, and he's coming to Bradley, and like you mentioned, they've had some really good success in his first 6 years, going to the NCAA tournament the last 2 years, being the automatic qualifier, winning the Valley Conference tournament.
He was the head coach at Green Bay for 5 seasons prior to arriving at Bradley University. Tavanainen on the rebound. And here's the turnaround jumper by Nolan. Rolls off the rim. Fife with his 5th rebound of the game. We're 10 minutes in.
And great job by Bourne there on the post defense. He's a little undersized, so they're going to look to maybe take advantage of that in the post. But he did a good job of holding his ground and making the player go away from the basket as opposed to going towards it, making a more difficult shot.
Found himself in some inside position. Almost got that bucket to fall. Here's Mast inside. The easy 2, the nice find by Nolan.
Little miscommunication there. Bet stepped out hard on the screen. The rotation came over. Mast just kind of got away from him. They got an easy bucket. So that's something the Panthers are going to have to clean up defensively.
This has been a back and forth first half. UNI with 4 made 3-pointers. Both teams shooting better than 50% from the floor.
Yeah, right there. Fife puts it on the floor a couple of times, then draws the double team. So he might look to just catch and score right away before that double team comes.
Antonio Thomas, the sophomore out of Memphis, slashing quickly to the iron. Played 33 games a season ago. Gives Coach Wardle and the Braves some really good minutes when he's on the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. Panthers are getting a good look for Fife in the post, but what he's doing is he's putting it on the floor, drawing the double from the top. So the whole baseline's open to his strong left hand. So if he takes a couple of dribbles, Childs might activate from the top. He can just reverse pivot, shoot a nice little jump hook over with his left hand over his right shoulder, and he can probably put Mast in his back pocket all night.
This is a foul on Austin Fife. Pushing on Childs inside. So Bradley gets the basketball back, working with a 5-point lead on the road. It's the Valley opener for the Bradley Braves. Nolan for 3. Off the mark, and Fife the rebound, and a foul on the rebound. And that's going to go on Jashawn Henry.
Fife's been all over the glass early. He had 4 early rebounds, 5 total for the game right now. That's going to be very, very big for the Panthers, not to give up those second chance points to a Bradley team that wants to really, really hunt for rebounds.
UNI with 3 first-year players, 2 second-year players on the floor right now. Gonar Mar, the eldest, as he is a senior, but in his first year with the UNI program. That kick will give it back to the UNI Panthers.
Right, a different lineup that we haven't really seen out of the Panthers this year, you know, but it's been effective. Like you said, it's a younger lineup, but talking to Coach Wardle yesterday, he said, you know, I want to key in on Burhow and Fife and those kind of guys, and I'd rather have younger, talented players beat me than their more experienced veterans.
Carter and Betts working a little 2-on-2 on the bottom of your screen there. There's Carter, fires the 3 and knocks it in. And a big 3 for Noah Carter, who's had a rough stretch in Valley play.
Yeah, he started that first game hot, made those 9 threes. So that you got to love that if you're Coach Jacobson and the Panther fans.
And then Carter comes up with a block. Coach Wardle wanted a foul. Here's Carter in transition, blocked from behind, but Mar there to clean it up and put it in.
Great job by Mar by not quitting on the play, not expecting that the ref was going to call that foul. Great job by Noah Carter with the block on defense and then running the floor. Mar cleaned it up, 2 points for the Panthers.
Henry fires the 3 and splashes it home. Bradley back up by 3. And a quick stoppage of play and a timeout taken. And we'll take a break here with 7:28 to play. As we've been up and down the floor, UNI basketball on the Panther Sports Network from Learfield IMG College is sponsored by Casey's. Bradley by 3.
is the box? Never mind, I found it!
When game days are gone, there's Bud Light there.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Meet Susie.
Oh.
Susie couldn't wait to unwind with her newest thriller novel. Too bad the only villain in this story was her suspect router. Overwhelmed by options and technical jargon, Susie needed to crack the case of the router's riddle. Thankfully for Susie, this mystery is easy to solve. With CFU Wi-Fi, our highly trained technician will install a new Wi-Fi system to optimize coverage for her home. Now, Susie can get back to playing detective in any room of her house. CFU Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi made simple.
Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Order for curbside pickup this winter, and we'll bring your delicious Casey's pizza order outside, so you can stay inside. Now at Casey's, buy one large pizza, get one half off. Casey's, here for staying inside, here for good.
Soar to follow the 2021 State Farm MDC Men's Basketball Championship. Be sure to download the Arch Madness app or visit archmadness.com. Both resources have all the information you need to know about the tournament, schedule, hotel accommodations, and other fun events during the tournament. Log on to archmadness.com or download the app on your phone today. Alongside Matt Schneiderman, I am Brad Wells. That's Coach Ben Jacobson. This is Panthers down 3, but making their shots here, shooting better than 50% from the floor, and Matt 5 of 9 from three-point land.
And 5 different Panthers have made a three-pointer, and we talked about that could be a key to the game if Northern Iowa can get some good open looks to really get them off this losing streak that they've been on.
Fife can't get it to go inside. Bradley clears the rebound. Here's East from outside, and Marr goes up for the rebound, and Bowen Bourne brings it up. The Panthers an opportunity to tie or pull within one.
Yeah, they're getting Fife in on the block, and every time he puts the ball on the floor, they're doubling down from the top. So there he had to go back to his weak hand, the baseline. But that baseline will be open for him to just make a quick move real quick and score before that double team has a chance to get there.
Donar Marr working against Henry, and the rebound to Darius Hanna, freshman.
Darius Hanna is the guy that Coach Worldle was very high on when we talked to him yesterday. He said, I love Darius Hanna and what he brings to this team, a toughness, an energy, and just an ability to make plays and get people in right positions.
East drives baseline. And hit Childs in the foot, and Heisey comes up with the loose basketball.
Good job getting on the floor, getting the ball.
UNI is going to try and take advantage in numbers. Noah Carter cleans up the miss by Bowen.
Yeah, and if you haven't figured it out yet, the refs are not going to call a lot going to the basket tonight. So stay with the play. Good job by Carter. They're staying with it, getting second chance points for the Panthers.
And timeout on the floor as Jashawn Henry holding his wrist, a little slow getting up and wincing in pain as he was running down the floor. So he's going to check out alongside Childs as Mast and Tabanainen check in. But Jashawn Henry, he's a big component for this Bradley team on the NBC Most Improved team last year.
Great athlete, a guy that really brings a little bit of everything. He has the ability to make shots on the perimeter. He has the ability to post up. Coach Wardle was talking about how he's kind of one of those Swiss Army knife type of players, ability to do everything. If they lose him for this game, that could be a huge matchup problem for Bradley.
He hit a 3 earlier in this game. Here's the turnover by Bradley, and East is going to check out as Antonio Thomas checks back into the game. Thomas, a sophomore. 14 points a season ago against Toledo. One of those true point guard type players. Carter in the lane. fighting through the physical hands of Bradley's defense.
Yeah, once again, just not assuming that a foul is going to call and sticking with the play and getting an easy bucket.
There's Nolan guarded by Marr. To Thomas in the lane. Mast goes inside. It's Hannah, rebounded by Henry.
Great job by Pickford there. He really ran at Mast and kind of ran him off the three-point line, gave up the ball. Not something that Mast is really going to do well is pass the ball, but he's already made one early, so run at him, make him put it on the floor. And as we see there, when you run at him, good things will happen for you defensively for Northern Iowa.
Turnover by UNI. It is a 1-point UNI Panther lead.
And that's what we were talking about, Brad. They've got to eliminate those silly turnovers. Here you have a chance to get a great defensive stop, then you come over and just give it right back to them.
Rink Mast fires the three. It's a little short. Evan Gauger directing traffic for the UNI Panthers. Again, both teams shooting lights out this first half. Panthers right at 50% shooting as a team. Bradley at 46%. 3 on the shot clock. Henry, the left hook, no good. Pull up 3 in transition, and Terry Nolan Jr. drops in his second triple of the game. He's got 6 points for Bradley.
He's a guy that can make them go. If they had him, they'd probably get that win on the road at Missouri, their last game played, over a top 14 team. He can really go.
Coming back from a couple weeks off from appendix surgery. They kept him out of the lineup and not available for that Missouri game. Bradley 6-3, but their 3 losses, Matt, teams that likely will be in the NCAA tournament this coming year. Missouri, a top 25 team, and just a 1-point loss to the Tigers, and even had free throws late that could have changed the outcome of that game.
Yeah, and a 1-point loss at Xavier, a Big East team, and then a 4-point loss to a great South Dakota State team that's probably got a good chance of winning the Summit and going as an automatic qualifier. A team that went on the road to Iowa State and got a big win. Took them 17 3-point made shots to do it, but they figured out how to score on Bradley that night.
Mast fires another 3, knocks it in. Rink Mast 2 for 4 from outside the arc here in this first half.
So clearly Rink Mast got what Coach Wardle was saying, that I want you to be a little more ready to shoot the ball from the perimeter. And the Panthers had run him off the line a couple of times, but he's picking and popping, getting wide open looks. They got to take that away.
Gonar Marr gets that soft touch to go.
This is good action with the Panthers just driving, getting a piece of the paint, and then just going the other way when Bradley overruns on defense. They're getting easy buckets, which is not something you can do a lot on this Bradley team. They just got to limit the turnovers and get some stops, run Mast off that 3-point line. And stop him.
Elijah Childs.
Easier said than done, right?
Checks in 2 more points, absolutely. As he's got 8 points. Rink Mast leading Bradley in scoring with 10 points. Timeout on the floor. You're watching UNI basketball on the Panther Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
T-Mobile is upgrading its network at a record pace. We were the first to bring 5G nationwide. And now that Sprint is a part of T-Mobile, we're turning up the speed, upgrading over 1,000 towers a month with ultra-capacity 5G to bring speeds as fast as Wi-Fi to cities and towns across America. And we're adding more every week. Coverage and speed. Who says you can't have it all?
As a talking bucket of KFC, dinner time is my time to shine. Grab some piping hot chicken, young man. Much better than microwave hot dogs, right, Dad? Eat up. I'm doing the cooking tonight. Get KFC tonight with free delivery.
If only there was a place nearby you could get one of these. Or these. Good thing they're sold literally everywhere business is done. I'm pretty sure you could buy them at a bank. Not sorry, Reese's.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out? You can say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You can chat with them in VR. It's all good if you think you should check in. Yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
This year, the holidays will be different. There'll be presents wrapped with care and toasts to the new year. But the biggest gift you can give the veterans in your life is to stay home for the holidays. It's the gift that will help keep everyone healthy and ready for hugs and big family gatherings when we all can get together safely. So for now, connect with your loved ones at a distance, knowing that you're helping protect the veterans who protected our country. This year, stay home for the holidays.
Gear up for UNI's next game with Authentic Brand, a great Iowa company making Panther apparel for men, women, and kids. It's the apparel that our crew wears on game days. Find at local retailers or order online at authentic-brand.com. Authentic Brand, look authentic, feel authentic, be authentic. A whiteout here in the McLeod Center. Matt, it's got a little different feel when you only have 15% capacity allowed. And
a lot of purple seats.
A lot of purple seats here. But those that are here and all of you watching on television, watching a good one here. Two teams playing really well offensively. Bowen Bourne made the first basket of this first half and now has his second three-pointer. He's got 6 points.
Yeah, great shot by Bourne. That's something he has the ability to do. A prolific scorer in high school and has been knocking down some shots tonight.
Pulls UNI within 2. Mast has fired 4 three-pointers in this first half. He's made 2 of them. There's Childs calling for it inside. Working against Burhow. 2 seniors. And a foul called on Burhow inside. So that's the first personal foul called on Trey Burhow.
Yeah, interesting defensive possession. The Panthers really stepped out hard, and Masta had a pop and had a decent look, but Fife did a good job of recovering. And then Childs one-on-one in the post. That could be a decision that maybe Coach Jake wants to look at. Maybe bringing a double similar to what Bradley's doing to Fife. Maybe bring a double in from the top off one of those shooters, so then you don't have to leave Mast, who has got to go in a little bit from the perimeter.
Terry Nolan Jr. checks in for Villanainen. Basketball. Mast comes up with it. Heisey, a tipped pass. Here's Henry. Tries to skip it out and it's taken away by Marr.
Yeah, great hustle. Getting on the floor. Didn't get the ball, but stuck with it and was able to get the turnover from Bradley.
Minute 15 to go. Panther fans to their feet as UNI has an opportunity to tie or take the lead here. Burhow wants the lead. Leaves it short as Childs grabs the rebound.
Still not a bad look for Trey Burhow. They could maybe get a better look, but still one of the best shooters in the conference, one of the best shooters in the country, just trying to get it going.
Burhow leading the Panthers in scoring since his return. Up to head to Heisey, and he throws it down.
Great defense from Heisey. Burhow, great look ahead. And Heisey going right to the front of the rim with the dunk. Maybe if he goes in for the layup, Bradley, a good shot blocking team, gets that block, but takes it in for the dunk and 2 points for the Panthers.
All tied up at 36. Final 30 of this first half. Henry to Childs. Double team comes.
The double.
Skips it to the corner. Henry on the drive now. Gets bumped by Marr as they'll stop the clock just under 20 seconds. And it's before the shot, so it'll be Bradley basketball.
Yeah, really not a bad defensive possession there. We talked about maybe doubling Childs. They clearly did. They double from the top right there. He was able to skip it over to Jashawn Henry. Marr was able to close out on him, take away that shot, but you got to be able to take away that drive as well. Maybe force back to the baseline a little bit.
So timeout on the court as Bradley wants to draw something up here with the shot clock turned off. And less than 20 seconds up on the clock. And Matt tied at 36 here. You've got both teams shooting about 50% from the floor. The offenses are flowing, but the defenses are right there. Some of these baskets are very contested.
Yeah, heavily contested. We talked about earlier, not a lot of fouls being called when you've gotten to the basket. So sticking with the play, getting those second chance opportunities. And that's part of the reason why teams are shooting so low tonight, because they're sticking with it and getting second chance looks. But yeah, both teams very even right now. When you're looking at the stat sheet, both teams shooting very similarly from the floor, very similar in turnovers and things like that. So it's really no wonder that it's 36 all right here. And I assume that Bradley is going to run and hold for the last shot of the half and not give a chance for UNI to run out and get an easy one to give them confidence going into the locker room at halftime.
8 different UNI Panthers have scored in this first half. 7 different Bradley players have scored, as you see the stats right there. Here's Bradley on the inbounds. Final 20 seconds. East wants to set it up. See what Wardle drew up. Now 10 on the clock. Childs, a 3 with 5 seconds on the clock. Long rebound goes out of bounds. And it'll be Panther basketball. Just over 1 second up on the clock.
I think they were trying to isolate Childs there to go one-on-one. He settled for a 3. I don't think he would have any clock awareness there. He had plenty of time to still put the ball on the floor and make a play going towards the rim.
Pickford the heave. Off the mark we go to the locker room tied. 36-36 all. Noah Carter leading UNI in scoring with 9. Brink Mast with 10 to lead the Bradley Braves. The late dunk by Heisey has us tied up here. As UNI basketball on the Panthers Sports Network from Learfield, IMG College is sponsored by Casey's.
When game days ago, there's a Bud Light there.
Yo, Dad, come play some ball. You're not my dad.
I'm not your dad. Of course I'm your dad's son. If I wasn't your dad, would I be able to do this?
What are you doing?
I'm doing this. Make a swish. Uh-oh. Jake from State Farm.
Here's the deal. There's no replacing the real Chris Paul.
Oh, my God.
Just like there's no replacing State Farm.
Oh, man, stop trying to be me.
If you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Meet Mike.
Hello.
Mike's the iron chef of his house. But instead of seasoning tonight's meal, Mike's getting peppered with demands from his family about their internet connection. Thankfully for Mike, this recipe calls for a dash of support. With CFU Wi-Fi, our highly trained technician will install a new Wi-Fi system and provide Mike's family with tech support 24/7. Now, Mike can focus on tonight's meal without all the extra ingredients. CFU Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi made simple.
At the University of Northern Iowa, great opportunities begin with personal connections. Connections with fellow students, staff, and faculty that make you feel like your voice is heard, that it's making a difference. Our faculty makes your learning their highest priority. They're helping you explore your passions in and out of the classroom, creating the real-world experiences that put you ahead of the competition. Discover where you belong at the University of Northern Iowa.
When game days ago, there's a Bud Light there.
Panthers Sports Network from Learfield IMG College coverage is provided by Casey's. Try new curbside pickup. Casey's, here for good. Bud Light. Hey, UNI basketball fans, whenever there's Panthers games to watch, there's a Bud Light there. IV, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. IV proudly supports the UNI Panthers. Mid-American Energy. Stay safe this season. Get electric and natural gas safety tips at midamericanenergy.com. Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. The University of Northern Iowa. Discover where you belong at the University of Northern Iowa. And FiberNet TV from Cedar Falls Utilities. Get connected to the power of service.
Panther fans, Lockdown Managed IT and the UNI Panthers are teaming up for the community all season long. For every successful Panther free throw, Lockdown Managed IT is contributing $10 to the United Way right here in the Cedar Valley. Locknet Managed IT is located here in the Cedar Valley, and they believe in the power of true partnership. In a rare first half, the Panthers did not even attempt a free throw in that first half, but tied here 36-36 with the Bradley Braves. We look now at a story on the UNI Panther wrestling team as they get their season started today away from Cedar Falls. Here's the wrestling season preview from UNI head coach Doug Schwab.
The Panther wrestlers have been working hard to prepare for the shortened season in 2021. There were no tournaments like in the past, but Coach Schwab is confident the competition inside the UNI wrestling room will carry over into Big 12 duels.
Man, hopefully, a lot of times, some of our toughest competition hopefully is in our room. Then we get out of competition, we're like, it's still tough, but man, look at what I've done, and look at what I've done in the room, or look at what I've battled against in the room every day. And it should elevate your level. It's not like, oh, I'm trying to protect something. Like, I'm trying to go after something. So the guy that's out there, and if I'm not the number one guy, that guy behind me is nipping at my heels, and he's there helping me elevate. And that guy's my tool to get better. It's not like he's my damn teammate. You know, I think sometimes teammates can get where, this guy's trying to take something away from me. Yeah, there's only going to be one guy that gets to go out there and one guy that gets to go to the national tournament. But if I'm not that guy, I'm going to make sure the guy that he is going to be prepared and ready. And once he's standing on top of that stand, I know I don't get to take that trophy home, but that's part of that's from me too. And we got to continue to take that kind of pride and really attack the practice room that way, but just being teammates that way.
The team will not fly to any competitions, and each duel will take place within a 6-hour bus ride from the UNI campus.
Okay, we got 11 matches on the schedule right now. We'd like to get more, but it's with Big Ten not going outside of conference, it makes it really hard. And we have a lot of Big Ten that are close to us. The Big 12 will wrestle those teams. I mean, we've got a few MAC teams that are close that we're going to be able to compete against, but we'll make do with what we get to do, and we'll go compete our tails off, and then get ready for the Big 12 tournament.
The Panther student athletes are physically ready to go, but there will be many challenges and adversity to overcome wrestling in 2021 during the pandemic. Coach Schwab is working to get his guys mentally prepared for this unique season.
I don't think the mindset changes a whole lot. I think we talked about this when we lost our national tournament and we can't train. You're not going to be able to go to school. All these things that happen, and we're like, hey, we're going to come back stronger. We're going to come back better. This is something that's going to make us better individually and as a team. And I've held on to that tight, and hopefully I really feel like our guys have too. Like who's going to manage this better is and comes back, and you're going to see the guys that are able to do that. You're going to see the guys that were able to individually, they couldn't have a coach over top of them. They took it upon themselves. And you can see it. You can see it in the room right now. You'll see it in the results throughout the season. And like I said, time's moving. It is moving no matter what. It doesn't stop. So we have to be able to move with it. We have to be able to adjust with it. We have to be able to still, I can't do this. No, but I can do this, this, and this. And that's really what we try to focus on our guys.
Pick up like a pro. Just order on the Subway app, and it's ready to go with contactless curbside. Turkey sub and a hot tub. Now get 15% off any footlong when you order in the app.
Jumper down the back kiss myself.
Wherever you are, you're there. The My Teams app, your home for live streaming coverage of the Bulls.
If you printed out directions to get here today, you're in the right place.
My seminars are a great tool to help young homeowners who are turning into their parents.
Now remember, they're not programs, they're TV shows. You woke up early. No one cares. Yes.
So I was using something called Home Quote Explorer from Progressive to easily compare home insurance rates. Was I hashtagging?
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer.
Guess what? The waiter doesn't need to know your name.
This little guy is one lucky puppy. He has the chance to do something amazing. Become a guide dog. A lifeline to someone who is blind. Or a service dog. A lifesaver to a veteran with a disability. He's on a mission, and we'll make sure he gets there. You can help. Visit guidedogs.org to learn more.
The Bears are in the playoffs.
That doesn't happen often in Chicago, so I'm excited about it. Everybody else should be excited about it. And who knows? If you play your cards right, might win next week.
They got to pull a big upset. They did not look good.
Once you get to the playoffs, you got to score points. You got to put the ball in the end zone.
They don't have the defense they thought they had. They don't have the Super Bowl ready defense anymore.
Don't miss the Football After Show tonight on NBC Sports Chicago and the My Teams app.
Gear up for UNI's next game with Authentic Brand, a great Iowa company making Panther apparel for men, women, and kids. It's the apparel that our crew wears on game days. Find it at local retailers or order online at authentic-brand.com. Authentic Brand, look authentic, feel authentic, be authentic. As we are here in the McLeod Center, he's Matt Schneiderman. I'm Brad Wells, as we welcome you back to our halftime coverage here. And Matt, for Bradley, Rink Mast getting the start as Ari Boya is out. 10 points, leads the way. And for the UNI Panthers, Noah Carter coming off the bench leading the way with 9 points. Both have been big factors here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Rink Mast came in, hadn't started for them in place of Boya. And we talked about how he can bring a little more offensive presence, and Coach Wardle wanted him to shoot the ball from the perimeter more, and he's done that. Noah Carter has kind of struggled since that first game, shooting 1 for 3 from the perimeter, but also attacking the rim and getting some good buckets easy as well. Here is the post.
You're seeing a big variety of guys scoring. The Panthers, 8 of their 10 players that played have scored. For Bradley, 7 guys have scored, and they played 9 different guys.
Yeah, there's just a lot of balance, and the game is just kind of even. UNI actually out-rebounding Bradley. We mentioned that Bradley's a great rebounding team. So it's really no surprise that this game is so even right now because both teams are kind of playing at an even pace.
Both teams shooting lights out, and there's Evan Gauger with a basket as Childs inside, showing his craftiness. He has 8 points for Bradley on 4 of 7 shooting. There's 2 of Noah Carter's team high, 9 points, and Rink Mast, we mentioned, game high honors with 10. There's 2 more for the big redshirt freshman.
Yeah, and just both teams are really doing a good job of getting downhill attacking. You see Bradley there with an easy bucket, and both teams are known defensively of taking away that easy stuff, but they're both kind of giving it up to each other tonight, and that's why we're so even.
It's been a gritty first half as well. Teams playing physical, teams playing really good defense, and it's been a fun first half to watch. A fast first half as it flew by. Here's a look at some of the numbers as you see the hot shooting from inside the arc and outside the arc.
Yeah, we kind of talked a little bit about the Panthers' perimeter. If they can get something going easy, it'll open them up on the perimeter, right? Here they are 6 for 12 from three-point field goals. So if you're Coach Jacobson, you got to be happy with that.
Pretty even. No free throws attempted by UNI in that first half. Bradley just 3 of 3. Here's a look at our Mid-American Energy scoreboard as we have a couple of finals as Missouri State sweeps Valpo this weekend and Illinois State gets the win and earns the split with Evansville as Isaiah Mosley coming up with a big game yesterday, 29 points in the victory and 29 again today as he, I believe now is at 7 straight games hitting the 20-point mark or more for Missouri State. Tied at the half. We will be back as this is UNI Basketball on the Panthers Sports Network from Learfield IMG College, sponsored by Casey's.
Panther Basketball on the Panther Sports Network from Learfield IMG College is provided by Casey's. Try new curbside pickup. Casey's here for good. Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Mid-American Energy. Save energy, save money. For energy efficiency or safety tips from your home or business, visit midamericanenergy.com. The University of Northern Iowa. Discover where you belong at the University of Northern Iowa. Bud Light. Hey, UNI basketball fans, whenever there's Panthers games to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee proudly supports the UNI Panthers. And FiberNet TV from Cedar Falls Utilities. Get connected to the power of service.
At the University of Northern Iowa, great opportunities begin with personal connections. Connections with fellow students, staff, and faculty that make you feel like your voice is heard, and it's making a difference. Our faculty makes your learning their highest priority. They're helping you explore your passions in and out of the classroom, creating the real-world experiences that put you ahead of the competition. Discover where you belong at the University of Northern Iowa.
Where is the box? Never mind, I found it!
days ago, there's Bud Light there.
Meet Susie. Susie couldn't wait to unwind with her newest thriller novel. Too bad the only villain in this story was her suspect router. Overwhelmed by options and technical jargon, Susie needed to crack the case of the router's riddle. Thankfully for Susie, this mystery is easy to solve. With CFU Wi-Fi, our highly trained technician will install a new Wi-Fi system to optimize coverage for her home. Now, Susie can get back to playing detective in any room of her house. CFU Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi made simple.
Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Order for curbside pickup this winter, and we'll bring your delicious Casey's pizza order outside so you can stay inside. Now at Casey's, buy one large pizza, get one half off. Casey's, here for staying inside, here for good.
36-36. We are here at the half. UNI basketball is brought to you by Casey's. Try new curbside pickup. Casey's, here for good. Alongside Matt Schneiderman, I am Brad Wilson. Now let's take a look at our keys to the game and see if this is going to continue. Bradley knocking the rust off. I would say shooting 50%. They're good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. They came out really, really well. They didn't come out as overzealous as we thought they might. They're right here in this game. I'm sure Coach Ward was very happy with that. Defensively, they can turn it up a little bit. They need to turn it up a little bit because it's just a situation right now where they're giving too many easy looks to the Panthers and too many second chance points.
And for UNI,
yeah, UNI's established their tone early. They came out and they got some really good easy buckets. They still need to limit those turnovers. They historically have started the second half a little turnover prone. So if they can do that, they're only at 6 now. If they can do that, that'll be a good look for the Panthers.
there you see UNI head coach Ben Jacobson as his UNI Panthers losing both of their games last weekend at Evansville. They split with Missouri State in the conference opening weekend. This is Bradley's first weekend of conference action due to COVID restrictions. Their conference opening opponent, Valpo, shut down due to COVID numbers, and then last week's action was postponed due to numbers in Bradley's program. Childs gets things going to start here in the second half.
Yeah, Childs, an experienced veteran player, one-on-one in the post like that. That's a tough draw for anyone in the Valley.
This is Fife inside.
Great move by Fife. There he is. He's attacking early before that double team has a chance to get there. Go into the open baseline side. Easy 2 points.
Tavanainen quiet in that first half. There's Childs inside, working against Fife. Shot up is off the mark, and Fife lets the shot go out of bounds. And a good defensive stand inside as Childs couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, you're not going to bully Fife in there. He's too big and strong. He did a good job of absorbing the contact, pushing Childs away from the basket, making a more difficult shot. He made him take a 5-foot shot and turn it into a 7-foot shot, a little more difficult.
A defense by Nolan on Bourne. Both teams really active on the defensive end. There's Heisey inside, has to save it from going out of bounds. Now spots up for a corner three. It's off the mark, but the rebound's tipped out. And
yeah, that's unfortunate. It was a great look by Fife. It was just, unfortunately, a bad pass. You know, he had Heisey right there for the layup. So, that's kind of one of those plays. Like, that's almost like a turnover right there, you know, where you had a missed layup opportunity like that for the Panthers.
Sean East fires the threes. He's left open. Around the rim it goes. Almost falls.
Oh, he was left open, too. They went way under on that screen. They're going to make Sean East prove it from the arc. Okay, Brad, here's what we're talking about. We've seen this before happen right at the start of the second half where we got one player cutting the basket and then the pass goes directly out of bounds. And that's a very uncharacteristic type of turnover for Bowen Bourne. Only his 7th on the season, not just Valley play, the whole season.
This is Terry Nolan Jr. getting his pocket picked. It was a hot start for both teams in that first half. Both teams shot close to 50% from the floor here in the second half. A little sloppier start offensively. Marr with the shot up, makes it, and UNI's in front by 2.
Just another great opportunity by the Panthers. They're getting downhill, getting a piece of the paint, and getting easy buckets. Very uncharacteristic for Bradley to give up.
And Betts gets whistled for the foul. The bump on Childs. And for James Betts, that's his first personal foul. Jashawn Henry into the game for Mast. Henry, a three-pointer in that first half. Childs tracks down that inbounds pass.
Yeah, it looks like a little miscommunication there.
There's Nolan on the drive, gets tripped up. Marr whistled for the foul, and that's the second personal on Gonar Marr.
Yeah, he's got to use his length a little better. You know, he's got long arms, and he's got the ability to run them off the three-point line, but he's got to be able to move his feet, kind of use his length, kind of cat and mouse with him, because no one's just going to try to get downhill on him.
Gonar Marr, transfer out of George Mason. There's Terry Nolan, a transfer out of George Washington. And really interesting, Matt, is 3 years ago, almost to the day, these two played against each other in an Atlantic 10 matchup. Gonar Marr had 17 points and 7 rebounds, and Terry Nolan had 18 points, 6 assists, and 6 steals as George Washington beat George Mason. And 3 years later, they now meet here in the Missouri Valley Conference game.
You know, it's a different world in college basketball now. You know, there's a lot of transfers. There's a lot of guys coming and going now. So these guys have some experience playing against each other in a very tough, very comparable to the Valley Atlantic 10 league.
Substitutions for UNI, Taiwan Pickford, Trey Burhow.
That might be the Colonial League. Yeah, it was the Colonial League. Also a really good league as well.
Also on the floor for UNI is Noah Carter. Has a team-high 9 points. Childs too strong, and the rebound right over top of 2 Panthers. And there to clean it up is Sean East.
You had a couple of Panthers go to the rim instead of go to a man, locate, check him off the boards, and get an easy board. And that's just an easy second chance point that you cannot afford to give up in Valley play.
So Bradley back in front. The Panthers here, this second half, actually shooting 66% their first 3.5 minutes of play. Burhow, pull-up jumper, in and out, no good. Childs with the rebound.
Yeah, another tough look by Burhow there coming off that screen. Heavily contested. That's what Bradley does. Out of bounds.
And Nolan standing on the out-of-bounds line.
Yeah, the coaches can't believe it, but I believe he had his right foot all the way out there. So,
wonder if his foot was out of bounds, if he jumped and caught it. That's what it was. His right foot was out of bounds, and then he landed inbounds.
Yeah, he might have had his heels off the ground, too. You don't know. But either way, turnover going the other way.
It's a 1-point Bradley lead. Panthers with the basketball as we approach our first media timeout.
They're really looking at Fife in the post right now.
He's calling for it. He wants to go to work against Childs.
Bradley not doubling.
2 all-conference big men, and Fife gets it to go over the top.
That's easy money for Austin Fife if they're not going to double. And Coach Jake talked that we need more out of him. You know, he had 19 points and 11 rebounds at Evansville, and Coach Jake said we could have maybe gotten 30 and 15 out of him. If they're going to go one-on-one with him, he's going to just put guys on his hip and score all night.
Had a team-high 6 rebounds in that, but just 2 points. Fife trying to get things going offensively here in the second half. UNI basketball on the Panthers Sports Network from Learfield IMG College is sponsored by Casey's. Back after this.
Yo, Dad, come play some ball. You're not my dad.
I'm not your dad. Of course I'm your dad, son. If I wasn't your dad, would I be able to do this?
What are you doing?
I'm doing this. Make a swish. Uh-oh. Jake from State Farm.
Here's the deal. There's no replacing the real Chris Paul.
Oh, my God.
Just like there's no replacing State Farm.
Oh, man, stop trying to be me.
If you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside Outside. Inside? Outside. Inside? Outside. Order for curbside pickup this winter, and we'll bring your delicious Casey's Pizza order outside so you can stay inside. Now at Casey's, one large pizza, get one half off. Casey's, here for staying inside, here for good.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Yo, Dad, come play some ball. You're not my dad.
I'm not your dad. Of course I'm your dad, son. If I wasn't your dad, would I be able to do this?
What are you doing?
I'm doing this. Make a swish. Uh-oh. Jake from State Farm.
Here's the deal. There's no replacing the real Chris Paul.
Oh my God.
Just like there's no replacing State Farm.
Oh man, stop trying to be me.
If you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
FiberNet TV from Cedar Falls Utilities. Get connected to the power of service. There you see UNI's Austin Fife, and he's starting to get it rolling here in this second half, Matt.
Yeah, they're just playing Childs on him one-on-one in there, and he's taking a few dribbles inside and just getting easy buckets, and he's been calling for the ball. So Coach Jake must have said, Austin, we need you to score a little more at halftime. He's really wanting the ball and getting easy buckets in there for the Panthers.
Some rebounds and buckets from that first half, and 2 baskets here in this second half. He's now totaling 6 points and 6 rebounds for UNI's. Bradley shows some zone here coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, and Coach Wardle said, he's like, we only play about 1 or 2% zone, so it looks like they're just trying to change the pace a little bit, and I would expect them to go back to a little more man-to-man, maybe just something out of a timeout.
Fife had a pretty good look, couldn't get it to go. Tavanainen for 3. Left it short. Mass the offensive rebound. Terry Nolan Jr. steps into a 3 and splashes it home.
Yeah, Nolan with a wide-open look, but once again, a wide-open 3 on an offensive rebound, usually a very high percentage shot, and nobody within 10, 15 feet of Terry Nolan. He just knocked it up like it was target practice.
Fife top of the key. Now this is Pickford guarded loosely by Tavanainen. Fife's worked on that outside range. He knocks one in here.
There you go. He's doing it inside. He's doing it outside. Got a little more confidence. Got it going a little bit here in the second half. Look for Fife to put some more buckets in.
Austin Fife, a pair of double-doubles in last week's 2 games at Evansville. 19 points, 10 rebounds, then 17 points, 10 rebounds in the opener.
Yeah, and you hate to critique a guy that has a pair of double-doubles, but like Coach Jake said, he's like, we can get even more out of him. So it's just him being a little more assertive and just keeping at it.
Tavanainen whistled for his first personal foul. Panther basketball. UNI working with a 1-point lead.
Yeah, we haven't seen much out of Tavanainen. He had 2 early free throws, but he hasn't had much going from the perimeter.
Heisey feeds it in to Fife. Fife working against the freshman. Off the glass, it won't go. Rebound to Henry.
See, that's a little better there by Bradley. They were digging into post a little more. The last couple possessions, they had guys in no man's land where they weren't guarding anybody on the perimeter and they weren't making it tough for Fife. There they made it a little tougher, forced him back to his right hand, and he wasn't able to finish it off.
It's the putback by Jason Kent that draws the foul and sends Kent to the free throw line. Not many free throws even attempted here today. Bradley was 3 for 3 in the first half. The Panthers did not attempt a free throw in the first half. Heisey's 2 here in the second half. They're only points from the charity stripe as Heisey will check out with Austin Fife.
Yeah, not a lot of free throws. And we said the refs are letting them play inside. So do not expect to go to the rim and get a foul call. Expect to go take some contact and then stay with the play to get a second chance point because you're not getting to the free throw line tonight.
All tied up here at 47. Bradley shows some three-quarter court pressure, putting Kent up at the top.
And they're sticking in that zone. So that is kind of interesting. It's something that Coach Wardle's not really accustomed to playing. He really likes man-to-man.
Verhoeven open corner. That's Carter on the follow.
Good crash. Great look by Trey Burhoff. Wide open three, doesn't miss him too often from the corner, but just good job of Noah Carter having a great game, sticking with it and getting the second chance points.
3-point try for East. Off the mark, and Henry tries to slap that one out for the long offensive read. Called for his second personal.
Yeah, Northern Iowa's going to make Sean East make shots from the perimeter. Maybe he wants to step in and try to get into the paint a little bit, and maybe spray the ball around a little bit, or just step in and knock something down just to get himself going.
Terry Nolan Jr. checks in for Ville Tavanainen. Sophomore out of Finland heads to the bench. And the junior out of Baltimore, Maryland. Redshirted last year with this Braves program. And his first season of action. And there's an offensive foul that's going to go against the UNI Panthers. Goes against Noah Carter. And for Carter, that's his first personal.
Yeah, Coach Jake doesn't like it. It was away from the ball. I'm not really sure what it was. If we get a good look at it here.
Oh, it looked like he was just cutting through and ran into.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough call right there. You know, he was kind of cutting. Nolan was kind of cutting to defend. It was just sort of incidental contact. But offensive foul on Carter, go the other way.
In the NFL, you might get pass interference on a pick play like that,
Yeah,
but that might be a play on. Good officiating crew here this afternoon, though. Kip Kissinger, Terry Oglesby, and Brooks Wells doing a fine job. Here's Henry, the three from the corner, and Bradley back in front.
Yeah, if you're Coach Wardle, you like seeing that because Jashawn Henry hasn't done as much as he was capable of doing tonight. So that's a nice, easy bucket to get him going from the perimeter.
There's the steal by Terry Nolan Jr. Takes it all the way in. And an offensive foul. Gonar Mar takes the charge.
Yeah, Nolan didn't look like he had any intention of giving that ball up. He looked like he was going right to the rim, and I think he just got him with the off arm maybe. Tough one. You know, Mar was moving with him, but to go the other way.
Timeout on the floor. Back after this, you're watching UNI basketball on the Panther Sports Network from Learfield, IMG College.
Now, when you order Domino's online, you can stream thousands of movies for free with access to Epix Now for 30 days. Make your comedies extra cheesy, or make family movie night a double crowd pleaser. Upgrade your movie night with any online order from Domino's.
At AutoZone, you get what you need when you need it. Got a today job? Pick it up free same day at your local AutoZone. More of a tomorrow project? Order as late as 10 p.m. with free next day delivery. Getting the job done just got easier.
This is my first time trying on glasses at home.
I went to Warden Parker's website and I picked 5 frames that I really liked. These are really cute.
Ooh. Hey.
The virtual try-on is perfect. Like, they look like they're on my face. Like, look at this. Just swipe and switch.
Love these. Look at them.
I think these are the one.
That was so easy. They make it so fun and fabulous.
Chicago. We started right here, together. We've grown and become family. On this journey, we share our challenges and our successes. Our bond is not simply on the court, because this is not just a logo. It's a symbol of where we're from and where we're headed. As a city, you've become one with us.
Come on, babe, let's go outside and take the boat up. I'm ready, I don't wanna wait. Cause the only time I'm feeling free is when I got that ocean breeze, so taking it out on the lake. Get on board, got the sunshine and the short line. It's a good time. Get on board, have a good time. Passing that line, it's a good life. Get on board, get on board. Get on board.
Panther fans, LockNet Managed IT and the UNI Panthers are teaming up for the community all season long. Every successful Panther free throw, LockNet Managed IT is contributing $10 to the United Way right here in the Cedar Valley. LockNet Managed IT is located in the Cedar Valley and believe in the power of true partnership. So we welcome you back. A 1-point game here in the second half. Ben Jacobson and Brian Wardle, two of the top coaches in the Missouri Valley Conference. As Coach Jacobson, the dean of the Valley, and Coach Wardle winning the last two Missouri Valley Conference tournaments.
Yeah, there's a lot of good coaches in the Valley. You know, Darren DeVries doing a heck of a job at Drake. Really turned that program around in the first 3 years he's been there. Porter Mosier, a guy that, you know, took a team to the Final Four. So the Valley's boasting a lot of good coaching.
It's a foul on the rebound against Marr. Getting Tavanainen right on the head.
Yeah, you know, you appreciate Marr trying to go for the ball there. You know, for everything that has not been called tonight, that was a little ticky-tacky, but at the same time, he was over the back. So
it's the third personal foul on Marr. He's first player for the Panthers with 3. Terry Nolan Jr. for Bradley playing with 3 personal fouls. Carter working against Childs, gets him up, and earns the trip to the free throw line.
yeah, Noah's getting some great looks by just turning the corner, getting into the paint, being patient, and you got Childs off the ground. That's going to be a foul almost every time. Childs doesn't like it, but every time you leave your feet, you're probably going to get called for that call.
Carter leading the Panthers in scoring with 11 points tonight. He's 5 of 10 shooting, 1 for 4 from three-point land, 3 rebounds, and has to play a physical game here, working against Jashawn Henry, Elijah Childs.
Yeah, but he's a good matchup problem for the Panthers tonight. Here's a guy that's got it going, leading them in scoring tonight with 12 points, hitting a couple perimeter shots, but it's getting some good stuff downhill and getting some easy shots inside, which, once again, not what Bradley usually gives up.
Childs calls for it inside, shoots it over Fife, gets his own rebound, and there's a foul on the putback, and it goes against Fife. And for big guy for UNI, that's number 3 on Austin Fife.
Yeah, Fife was straight up, but he went into the player there. You know, if he just holds his ground, uses his chest, chests him up, he's so big, he might force him away from the basket there, but you can't give him that second opportunity. More often than not, if a big guy's working hard, gets a second opportunity, the refs are going to award him with that foul call.
Elijah Childs at the free throw line, celebrating his 22nd birthday today. He has 11 points, 5 rebounds for the Braves. He's 5 of 11 shooting from the floor.
And he's one of the guys we talked about that they're going to want to get going. He's the player to watch, you know. But what's interesting is the guy they're missing tonight, Ari Boya. Bradley only has 1 block shot as a team. Here's a team that usually gets about 5 block shots. So how many shots is Boya, effect that Bradley is missing tonight might be the reason why they're not blocking as many shots. And it might be why the Panthers are getting some good interior looks. But you got to finish them.
Fife's bucket does not fall as Childs was there to challenge it. Childs leading the team in blocked shots.
Okay, but you notice Fife missed a layup. Doesn't hold his head. Runs back. Starts communicating. You see, and then he got back on Childs. Forced Childs into a travel. Not really sure where the travel was, but hey, they called it. Panther ball.
It's a 2-point Bradley lead. UNI with the basketball. Approaching the 10-minute mark of this second half. It's the conference opener for the Bradley Braves. Their last 2 weekends postponed due to COVID cases. Last weekend, it was within the Bradley program. The 2 games for right after Christmas were postponed due to a positive case in the Valpo program. And the Panthers have already played 2 weekends of this new Missouri Valley Conference schedule of back-to-back games. And this is a foul, I believe, on Jashawn Henry after Tavanainen was whistled for that previous foul. So now both teams in the bonus, and the Panthers put Burr out with the charity stripe with a 1-1.
Right, and we talked about they were letting a lot go early. They really cleaned it up, but both teams are in the bonus, so it's just going to be key on who can make the free throws and execute down the stretch. But we might see some easier buckets, too, because guys are going to start getting into foul trouble.
Substitutions, Terry Nolan Jr., Sean East II checking in for Bradley. Fife
And if you're Bradley right now, you don't want to see Trey Burhout get a couple easy free throws right here, because that's usually what gets a shooter going. Now, he missed that one. I might have given the announcer drinks. But, don't be surprised if he gets an open look and buries it, getting himself going on the free throw line.
That announcer jinx will happen anytime you say anything about free throws,
My
man.
bad, Trey. My bad.
There's
Nothing personal.
UNI comes up with the takeaway. Bowen Bourne working against East. Knocked out of bounds by East.
But good attack by Bourne, okay? Now, here's a guy that we know can shoot the ball from the perimeter. He's breaking guys down. He had Heisey on the cut there. He just couldn't get the pass around, but that was a really good, aggressive take.
Carter sets his feet, fires the three. Rebound grabbed by Childs. He's got 7 boards to go along with his 12 points. Mast working against Betts. Fadeaway shot off the mark. Rebound kept alive by Childs and grabbed by Mast. This is Nolan for 3. Knocks it in from deep.
Once again, your high percentage shots at the three-point line, usually it's a catalyst of that offensive rebound. Noah Carter did a good job of boxing out. He just didn't secure the basketball. Childs got his hands on it. They would kick it to a wide-open Terry Nolan Jr., and that's the second or third one he's knocked down just off offensive rebound situations.
These two teams will play a rematch tomorrow night here in the McLeod Center. And here's a timeout taken by UNI head coach Ben Jacobson. And we will be back. A 4-point Bradley lead. As UNI basketball on the Panthers Sports Network from Learfield IMG College is sponsored by Casey's.
The State Farm MVC Men's Basketball Championship is back in the Gateway City this March. It begins here as 10 Valley teams battle it out to advance to the Big Dance. The 2021 edition of Arch Madness tips off March 4th through 7th at Enterprise Center in downtown St. Louis. Presented by Fox Sports Midwest. Visit unipanthers.com or download the Arch Madness app. Since 1907, the Valley runs deep.
Meet Mike.
Hello.
Mike's the Iron Chef of his house. But instead of seasoning tonight's meal, Mike's getting peppered with demands from his family about their internet connection. Thankfully for Mike, this recipe calls for a dash of support. With CFU Wi-Fi, our highly trained technician will install a new Wi-Fi system and provide Mike's family with tech support 24/7. Now, Mike can focus on tonight's meal without all the extra ingredients. CFU Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi made simple.
Get ready for more. Introducing Hy-Vee Plus. Get a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, you can call our Red Line hotline day or night for anything you need. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. Plus, a personal online shopper. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. Sign up today.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The 2021 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Championship returns to Enterprise Center March 4th through the 7th in downtown St. Louis. Get your all-session tickets today and save $20 by calling 319-273-4849 or order them online at unipanthers.com. Local seating capacity restrictions will apply. We talk about Valley history. Let's talk about conference victories. As UNI coach Ben Jacobson, his next Missouri Valley Conference win ties him with Barry Hinson for most conference wins in a career at a MVC program. And chasing Coach Hinson from Southern Illinois and Missouri State. And Matt, you were saying it was Southwest Missouri State back when you played against Coach Hinson.
Yeah, that's right. We played them in the 2004 Missouri Valley Tournament, went to a double overtime game with them and won to go to the national tournament. And if you're looking for a good time and a good laugh, give Barry Hinson a YouTube sometime because he's one of the nicest guys in all of college basketball, but he is really funny. So if you like good, funny coaching things, especially like with the media and things like that, Barry Hinson's your guy.
Dynamite in the press conferences as he has had some good ones. I remember covering a game of his playing these UNI Panthers. He came up here and said, I didn't know they had grass up here. It was one of those rare Januaries where there's no snow on the ground as Burr Howe gets that bucket to go and pulls UNI within 2.
And I think he went to the Kansas staff and was on staff there when UNI knocked them off in the NCAA tournament as well. But he's just a really good guy, good coach, a lot of Valley experience, and a really funny guy.
Burr Howe gets it to Bourne on the backdoor cut. This is Heisey for 3 from the corner.
Tough that didn't go down because that was a great action. Great look by Bowen Bourne right there. He might have had a chance to force a shot for a layup, but kicked it to a wide open Heisey.
Calvin in the rebound and runs into that 3-point try.
Yeah, that one looked to me like that's just one he wants to get himself going on. He's kind of had a rough night shooting the ball. We talked about him being one of the sharper shooters on this team.
Calvin 0 for 3. Here's an illegal screen set by James Betts.
Yeah, it's tough because you're running that dribble handoff action, that stagger away ball screen. You got to get yourself set, but also the guard has to wait for that as well.
All right, we'll take a timeout. You're watching UNI basketball on the Panthers Sports Network from Learfield, IMG College.
Yeah, but this is a lot of food right here for $2.49.
You're going to all these restaurants. $10, please.
$12.50.
$9, please. $12, please. All these crazy places. It's a no-brainer.
School is working out for you.
Sonic Chicken Slinger.
Hello?
We all miss being in the office. Coworkers and coffee breaks, lunch hours and happy hours.
Oh my God.
Office parties, office pranks, office weirdos.
Ever seen a foot with 4 toes?
What are you doing? So if you miss the office, at least you'll always have the office.
Let's get the party started. Not the way I taught you.
That's why you can't not watch. Every episode, extras and exclusives. Streaming now at peacocktv.com.
T-Mobile knows the new year brings big news. Get an iPhone 12 with 5G on us on every single plan. And save 20% in your bill every month versus the other guys. That's right, iPhone 12 on us. Only at T-Mobile.
Now let's go back to your keys to the game. This is the UNI Panthers, what you wanted to see out of them.
Yeah, they did establish that tone early, both the first and second half, so that's good. They're getting good looks offensively, just missing some good wide open looks. But once again, they got to limit the turnovers. They're at 12 right now for the game. Bradley's at 11, but they've given some easy opportunities to give the ball back to the Bradley Braves, and it's really kind of hurting them offensively right now, especially when those wide open shots aren't falling.
All right, the illegal screen, the foul committed by UNI gives Bradley the basketball. As we resume play. 7:30 to go here in the second half in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Bradley playing their Missouri Valley Conference opener. As Henry, the offensive rebound. The putback, no good. Fife can't hold on to it, and Burr Howe comes up with a loose basketball.
Yeah, Panthers got kind of fortunate there. They were able to obtain the basketball, but they gave a couple of good looks for offensive rebounds there as well. And Fife stepping out hard, but they got the corner turned on him by the guard. You got to level them off and force them away from the basket if you're going to step out hard like that.
Burr Howe, a deep three. Okay. UNI back in front.
Yeah, he got to the free throw line, and now he's got a little bit of confidence. He's got it going. Once again, they have a hand right in his face. He's just a great shooter, one of the best in the conference, one of the best in the country. But you really got to like that if you're a Panther fan.
Burr Howe with 9 points. Here's Mast in the lane, tipped by Carter, but contact on the hand, and that'll be a foul on Noah Carter, his second. And Mast will go to the line.
Yeah, it's just a tough play right there. There's a good baseline drive. Fife comes to help, and then no one helped the helper. So you got to help the helper just a little sooner. Carter was kind of stuck in no man's land there where he didn't really know if he helped uphill, then he might be giving up a bucket from his man, but got to help the helper. And these are kind of some of those things that young players go through, you know. And this is kind of what's been a little frustrating from UNI. This is where they miss a guy like AJ Green, and they miss a guy like Antoine Kimmons that can help get these young players in the right position, whether it's in practice or going over film and things like that. So these are just growing pains that young talented players go through sometimes, and the Panthers play a lot of young players.
Mask gets 1 of 2, the redshirt freshman out of Netherlands. Redshirted a year ago with a knee injury. Here's Fife working against the freshman. Lays it in.
Yeah, just great hard roll to basket, easy finish to a strong hand, and just something, another easy bucket to get Fife going. Great couple of possessions to come out of that timeout. Burhow with the three, and now Fife with an easy layup.
East back to Mast. Three-pointer just dances on the rim and goes through.
Yeah, we hadn't heard a lot about Mast in this half, but then he comes out, gets a couple of free throws, and now a wide-open shot, and we know he has that ability to knock that down, so a good answer right there.
And that's his third triple in the game. He has 14 points now, as he had a team-high 10 at halftime.
Well, Coach Wardle said, he's like, I told him I want him to shoot the ball more. Yeah, there you go. Mast right there trying to flop a little bit, take a charge right there. Thought for a second there it might have been an offensive foul on Fife, but now he's going to the line for a 1-on-1. I mean, listen, this is just two big, strong guys going at it, right? Mast is about 250 pounds. Fife's about 250, 260. And a lot of times in college, this kind of play gets called. But, you know, you can't really penalize a guy for being just big and strong right there. Fife did not lower a shoulder. He didn't push off. He was just making a good, strong move. Mast tried to, you know, take a cheap one on him. But instead, he gets called for the block, and Fife goes to the line for the 1-on-1.
And Fife gets the first of 2. Austin Fife, 12 points, ties Carter with a team high. And for Austin Fife, shooting from the floor on the season, 60% at the free throw line, though. Just a 45% free throw shooter. Misses the second one. Tipped pass by Heisey and comes up with a steal in the corner.
Great active hands. We see Nate Heisey make some really strong defensive plays all season. He's just a great two-way player. He can do it offensively and he can do it defensively. Great play there by the freshman.
A true freshman out of Lake City, Minnesota. Feeds it to Fife. Bucket and a foul.
Panthers are having great success with that turn the corner, getting into piece of the paint. We talked about establishing a tone. This is what we mean. Now, sometimes people think when you got to go inside, you got to just give it to a post player back to the basket. But going inside also means attacking downhill for guards. Great pass right there led to an and one. Now the Panthers got to convert at the free throw line, as they are 5 of 8 right now tonight.
Tavanainen and whistle for the foul. That's his third. Antonio Thomas checks in for the sharpshooter out of Finland. UNI a 3-point lead, and the Panther fans to their feet. Mast, the 3 to tie it, off the mark.
Yeah, there may only be 15% capacity, but they're making some noise tonight and get behind their Panthers.
Yeah, even if you've got just 1,000 people, you can still get a little bit of a home court advantage. You've got a crowd. Burhow for 3. Things are rolling now for the Panthers. Timeout taken by Brian Wardle.
And once he gets going, he's going to be tough to stop. He's getting good looks now. Good shot by Trey Burhow.
Here's another look. Rises and fires.
It's just a great action. Like, Panthers are doing a lot of dribble handoff type of action, and it is tough to defend because if you go over the top, then Burhow can get downhill on you, and if you go under on him, he's going to bury threes. Trey Burhow's the type of guy that's going to bury threes with a hand in his face anyway, so he's got it rolling now.
Trey Burhow with 11 points here into double figures. Had a triple-double last weekend in the game against Evansville. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Not quite in triple-double territory with 3 rebounds, 2 assists, but the senior coming up with a big clutch shot here in that second half.
best shooter, your knockdown shooter, lead you in assists as well. So that's kind of what we talked about at the top of the game, that he's redefining his role. And now he's making big shots. And we always knew that he could do that. You know, he's always had that ability, as he's had multiple games where he's had, you know, 9 3-pointers. So he's just a guy that's got it rolling now. And like you said, not quite triple-double territory now, but he's really got it going the second half.
Well, 64-59, UNI with a 5-point lead. As the Panthers on a 6-0 run here over the last minute 30.
Yeah, look for Bradley to try to get something easy inside. Maybe you go to Childs or Nolan on the perimeter and break them down. And then if I'm Northern Iowa, I'm running anything through 5 from Burhow right now. They both got it going.
Feed into Childs. There's a foul on the play as East cutting to the basket, fouled by Burhow.
Yeah, and he knows it. You know, he thought he had the steal. He didn't get it. So he at least puts him on the free throw line, make him earn it, you know. But now everyone's going to be shooting free throws here on out, you know, both teams in the bonus. So if you're going to go for that ball, you got to get it. If you're Trey Burhow, he realized it, you know. It's a mistake. It happens. And, you know, just get it back on the other end if you're UNI.
Sean East at the free throw line. First of 2 is good. The transfer from UMass. 3 assists and 3 turnovers here tonight, but coming in 40 assists to 12 turnovers for the new Bradley sophomore.
Yeah, he's been very efficient all year, and Bradley's going to go back to that, you know, 3/4 court zone press and see if we'll drop it back into a zone or a man-to-man.
Pickford's pass taken away. This is East. Dishes it to Henry, who gets blocked by Heisey. East able to clean up the mess and put it down.
Yep, and once again, sticking with the play afterwards, not giving up on the play. It's been beneficial for both teams tonight. There, Shawnee's got just stuck with the play and got an easy bucket, and now you're back to a 1-point game.
So 64-63 with 4:08 to play. As we look at that last play, that pass from Pickford may have gotten tipped by the defender right on him.
Yeah, it was a kind of a lazy pass. It got tipped anyway. They got an easy steal in a 3-on-1, and then Shawnee stuck with the play. That little kind of tandem zone court press has really kind of thrown the Panthers off a little bit. You know, Bradley's got a lot of length, you know, not just in the backcourt, but in the front court as well. They got to do a little better job of taking care of the ball. Maybe get somebody behind the level of the ball so you're not throwing it over the top of the defense and you're throwing it behind and then attacking off the dribble.
So the officials currently at the video monitor, they're reviewing a 3-point try from earlier to see if Burhow's foot was in fact behind that 3-point line.
That initial replay looked like his right foot might have been right on the line. So
there's another angle. Yep. Looks like that toe was on the line. And so they will correct that.
And we'll be knotted up at 63, or if they already corrected it.
And here's a look at our statistics here, as it's been a pretty even battle throughout this game. You think about the offense. Rebounding was a big key for both teams and nearly a deadlock even.
Yeah, that was kind of a concern for both coaches. And now here you got a very evenly matched team with the rebounds. You know, that's Bradley's what they do, you know, and they're about 14, 15 rebounds under what their average is. So the Panthers are doing a good job there as well of evening it out on the rebounds. And then another thing that sticks out, Bradley's got 10 threes to UNI's 8 threes. The first half, UNI made 6. They've only made 2 since that. The second half, I believe, going 2 for 7 this second half.
There's UNI's Trey Burhow as the Panther lead corrected down to just a 64-63 advantage. But Burhow with 11 points. He's 2 for 4 from outside. And UNI as a team, Matt, shot 50% from 3 in that first half when they made 6 of them. Here in the second half, just 2 for 7 from outside. But you get one guy to hit one, all of a sudden the whole team can heat up.
Yeah, and in this zone, they've gotten some good wide open looks from the corner, especially with Pickford and Heisey. They just got to knock them down, and we'll see what happens here.
Three on the shot clock. Burhow has to fire a deep one and banks it home.
Well, he kind of gave the I don't know either, but he'll certainly take it, and they don't say how, they say how many.
Well, he had to let it fly, and 14 points now for Burhow.
Double on Childs as you have Burhow on him with Fife going over to double, so Pickford sinks down on Mast.
East drives into the lane.
It's
Hits the
just a little
floater.
too easy. Little too easy right now. Bradley's still in this tandem zone. We'll see if they drop back in the zone or not. Now, in this zone, if they're going to stay with that 3-2 zone, you and I might want to try to set a ball screen and things like that, make them try to sandwich on defense, but they're in man-to-man.
Burhow gets it to Fife inside, working against Mast. Gets it up over the hand of Childs.
Yeah, great play by Austin Fife. And once again, we're seeing that action with the two-man game with Fife and Burhow. And like we said, if I'm Coach Jacobson, I'm going to keep going that well until they stop it because Bradley has not been able to stop the last few possessions.
East for three. It won't go. Fife with the rebound. And Austin Fife with his 8th board of the game, his 15 points. Or excuse me, his 17 points is a team high. There's Burhow.
Yeah, and what you're seeing, Brad, is very interesting as Bowen Bourne is playing off the ball. They're initiating the offense with Taiwan Pickford and getting that two-man game going with Fife and Burhow. It's going to leave Bourne wide open on the weak side. Maybe they can find him for an open shot.
And Henry just spun away from Burhow on that play.
He's talented. He can post up. He can do it all. They probably could have gone to him more in the post tonight, but down the stretch, they're going to have to look for other options.
Bradley really extending that defensive pressure out, even in this half-court set.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if after makes they're coming back into that zone, and after misses they're coming back into man-to-man, but there's the wide-open shot in the corner. Knocks it down.
Heisey gets his first 3 of the game after missing his first 4. And a timeout taken by Bradley head coach Brian Wardle.
Yeah, great look. You get the ball to the middle of the floor against the zone and make the defense have to vacuum in on the ball. You're going to get wide open shots. And here the ball goes right to Fife, locates the open man. Heisey knocks it down.
So it gives UNI a 5-point lead with 1:31 to play. A big shot by the young freshman.
Yeah, and it looks like he's the type of guy that, doesn't let pass miss shots affect him. He's got a wide open shot. He just dialed it up, knocked it in. Now, it's going to be very interesting this last minute and a half to see how UNI can handle the pressure because Bradley's going to come out and really pressure the basketball and try to get some steals and get some buckets the other way. So expect to get fouled, but don't expect the foul to be called. Be strong with the ball. No silly turnovers. Take care of it. And if you get to the free throw line, you got to finish them off.
Well, Matt, Nate Heisey and Bowen Bourne have had a lot of attention on them. 2 true freshmen that are starting for the Panthers, and 2 of just 6 true freshmen in the whole conference that have started any games. And many of the true freshmen at Valpo and Illinois State starting just a couple of games, but these 2 have a lot on them. Coach says they're learning a ton. It's their first year of college ball.
Yeah, and they're doing really, really well. And it's a process, In today's world, we expect everything to happen overnight. These are true freshmen. They're very talented freshmen. But this is their first time playing college basketball. So there's going to be some growing pains. But Coach Jacobson talked about these are the type of guys that get in, get with the coaches, watch the film, want to get better. So there's a lot going on the perimeter and the horizon for the Panthers. These guys are getting some invaluable experience as true freshmen they might not have gotten without a depleted roster at UNI.
And you think about doing it against older guys as well. Terry Nolan Jr., a junior. Sean East, a sophomore, but guys that have college experience. You learn a lot that first year.
Absolutely. Well,
Childs looked like he stepped out of bounds, and then there's a foul called on Fife inside as Childs backs him down.
It did look like Childs got a little bit of a birthday gift, stepped way out of bounds there, but, Fife kind of gave up some ground there and then got the foul. That's a pretty crafty move by a pretty good senior player.
So Childs goes to the free throw line, 12 points, 8 rebounds for the senior out of Kansas City, Missouri. Second team all-conference performer last year. Has been a member of the last 2 conference all-tournament teams, was all-tournament MVP in 2019, and was also on the conference all-freshman team back in 2018. And
yeah, he plays well down there in St. Louis, and he's just a really good all-around player. And Coach Wardle talked about he is one of the fiercest competitors. He has a very similar personality to the head coach, kind of adopts that personality from him.
So Childs gets 1 of 2 to go, and UNI with a 4-point lead with just over a minute to play.
And still initiating the action with Pickford and putting Bourne off the ball.
Hannah guarding Pickford out close to that three-point line. Shot clock now under 10, and Pickford gets it to Burhow. Just 5 on the shot clock. Burhow, a really deep three. It does catch iron. Here's Nolan Jr. on the run.
Kind of a waste of possession there for the Panthers. I appreciate them trying to work the clock a little bit, but you got to get a good shot. You got to put yourself in a position to maybe run a pick and roll to get something going downhill, not a pull-up three from 5 feet behind the arc.
There's the pull-up three, and they're going to take a look at this at the monitor to see if there was a touch by Pickford on that rebound attempt or if possession will stay with the UNI Panthers. Well, Matt, you think about the schedule as we take another look at this play, see if we can.
I don't think either one of them touched it. I think it just went off the rim.
I don't think so either. I think it's just a rebound that went out of bounds. No touch. You think about the UNI Panthers schedule, though, they are starting a very tough 8-day stretch as they've got a game against Bradley tomorrow. Then they go to Loyola, you see there, and then host the Drake Bulldogs, one of the unbeatens in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Yeah, Drake is one of those teams that's just a great story in the Valley, a great story nationally right now with Bradley tomorrow, and then a tough road trip at Loyola for a back-to-back. Get a few days off, play just one game with Drake, and then 9 days before your next game at Southern Illinois. Never an easy trip. There's never an easy night in the Valley. It's just the way it goes. The league is, from top to bottom, is very competitive. Whether you're at home or on the road, expect it to be a dogfight and expect everyone to be ready to play. But this is a pretty tough schedule coming up.
Looking at the Bradley Braves' upcoming schedule, they're playing their conference opener today. They've got the Panthers again tomorrow, and then they play Evansville. Again, explanation by the officials. They're looking at the out of bounds as well as the time. But back to Bradley's schedule. Home against Evans. A lot of games going to start to get crammed in now that they've got 4 games to make up.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to stay here for another road game with UNI tomorrow, and then they're going to host Evansville and finally get to play at home a little bit. Then they have just a one-game opportunity with Illinois State as they'll split a home and away with them, and then they got Loyola coming in. So they at least have a couple of games at home coming up as well to get some home cooking. But once again, doesn't really matter this year. Whether you're on the home or the road, the Valley's going to be a very competitive league, top to bottom. Anybody can win.
Matt, right now, and I know schedules are changing every day, but right now, Bradley has 10 games scheduled between today and February 1st, which is 22, 23 days different. I mean, that's a lot of basketball that's going to be played. Look through Indiana State, about halfway through the top half of that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of basketball.
And Coach Wardle said, he's like, look, the alternative is we don't play, So he's like, we're not going to make excuses. We're just going to roll with the punches and see what we can do. They've had a tough break where they didn't get to play for 2 weeks. Now they got to make it up, and they got to do it pretty quick. It's going to be a tough. Schedule, but they're going to be competitive. They're going to be fine, and they're just going to have to weather that storm.
Bradley's played really good, and they do say it's going to be UNI Panther basketball, as they don't believe either player touched it. Good play, or good officiating here by our crew today. Kip Kissinger, Terry Oglesby, Brooks Wells.
It's just a good example why you just go get the ball. You don't put it in the officials' hands. Just go get the ball, and then you secure it.
So Bradley shows the full court pressure. Pickford on the inbounds, and a foul on Nolan as Burhow slides to the floor.
Yeah, kind of an awkward collision there. He fell down, but Burhow's going to go to the line for two now, right?
See if this is the double bonus or if this is our final 1-and-1 here. This is 10-team fouls, so 2 free throws for Trey Burhow. 14 points for Burhow. Had just 3 at halftime. A solid second half.
And he's the guy you want at the free throw line. I think he missed one earlier, but he's the guy down the stretch. You want that leadership. You want your best shooter at the free throw line. This should be 2 points.
Second free throw's off the mark. 5-point game, final 38 seconds. Nolan cuts to the rim. Heisey gets his hand on it. Loose basketball still, and Heisey tips it to Pickford. Heads up play by the freshman.
Yeah, he's just gritty on defense. There, he just got from the ball, active hands, got his hands on it. Good things happen. Got to the floor. That's a veteran play by a freshman right there, and great defense right there. You and I showing a different look. They were icing that ball screen and refusing it and sending it back, streaking the court, keeping it on that side of the floor. Something we haven't seen out of the Panthers tonight. Kind of threw Bradley off. Heisey gets a great steal.
The true freshman out of Lake City, Minnesota, really showed a big toughness in the preseason camp for UNI, and Coach Ben Jacobson really early said, hey, this Heisey kid's a little more farther along defensively than what we thought, and it's coming to fruition here in his first half of Valley play.
Yeah, he's just a talented player, and he's been expected to do a lot this year and kind of just a baptism by fire, grow up overnight, but he really showed it on that play.
Free throws put him into double figures. Childs with another basket. He's got 15 and 9. And 17 seconds left for the Panthers, working with a 5-point lead. And Heisey takes a timeout. That's the final timeout for UNI in this basketball game. Let's take a look at the game ahead as the courts will get changed out to a mat in the next PSN broadcast. Join us in the McLeod Center as UNI Wrestling takes on Big 12 Wrestling powerhouse Oklahoma, January 24th. Their coverage begins at 1 p.m. Head coach Doug Schwab and company are getting their season started in Big 12 play today. The Bradley Braves getting their Missouri Valley Conference schedule started today. And how tough would that be, Matt, as a player, just not being able to play a game for 19 days, and it happened right in the middle of your season?
Yeah, I mean, guys get injured and may take a couple weeks off to, get recovered and get back on the court, but never really a whole team, And this is another situation. It's not like they've just been sitting there practicing 5-on-5 every day. They had low numbers at practice because of social distancing and quarantining obligations. So they really haven't had a lot of rhythm and a chance to practice. They actually got this game moved back because Coach Jacobson and the Panthers moved it to Sunday, Monday to give them an extra day as a team, which is a really classy move right there by Coach Jacobson and the Panthers. And Coach Waldo was very appreciative of it when we talked to him on the phone yesterday.
It's really been a rough year for Bradley. They've had some bad breaks. September 9th to the 23rd, a campus-wide 2-week quarantine. The team couldn't get together at all right when they were about to report for fall individual workouts. As Fife gets the inbounds pass and gets fouled, and the Panther sub 50% free throw shooter steps up to the line, and it's one area I know Fife really wants to try and improve on, and it would really make him a really tough opponent if he can knock down his free throws.
Yeah, he has the ability to step out and knock down that perimeter shot, so he's just got to concentrate, line it up, knock it down, just take a deep breath, just be calm. It's interesting that the Panthers were inbounding the ball to him there. I think that they just wanted to get the ball in. Not often you give it to your center in that position this late in the game, but if he can get 1 out of 2, that'll at least help extend that lead.
Fife does have a game-high 17 points, give him 18 as he gets 1 of 2. There's Nolan Jr. on the drive, draws the bump. And it'll be 2 free throws coming for Nolan.
Yeah, they set that double high ball screen up there, and it's kind of hard to defend because you don't really know I don't know if Mar was just expecting switch or not, but Fife just couldn't move with him, and a lot of contact, and now he's going to go to the line for 2.